Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're going on a journey through time and currency as we uncover the top 4 most valuable and expensive Australian 50-cent coins that could be worth far more than their face value. Now, when most people think about 50-cent coins, they picture the large, 12-sided pieces of metal that weigh down their pockets or rattle in jars. But what many don't realize is that some of these coins, especially those from certain years, rare errors, or special mintings, are now selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars in today's collector market. Introduced in 1966 during Australia's transition to decimal currency, the 50-cent coin has evolved from a silver-filled collectible to a symbol of national events, royal milestones, and artistic commemorations. What makes these coins especially valuable? It all comes down to rarity, condition, minting errors, and historical significance. So whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who's just stumbled upon an old coin in a drawer, this video might change the way you look at your loose change forever. Let's get started. First up, the 1994 Australian 50-cent commemorative coin is exactly that kind of numismatic treasure. Minted to honor the International Year of the Family, this coin stands out with its simple, almost childlike design, a heartfelt symbol of unity, love, and human connection. Even in dirty or heavily circulated condition, this coin continues to turn heads for its historical value, artistic uniqueness, and rising collector demand. It may appear ordinary at first glance, but for those who understand its deeper meaning and growing rarity, this coin might just be a diamond in the rough, a true millionaire's sleeper coin. Let's start with what makes this coin so instantly recognizable. Its reverse design, which steps away from traditional heraldry and embraces the innocence of childhood. Created by designer Carolyn Rosser, the reverse depicts a stick figure style drawing of a family, just as a child might sketch it: a father, a mother, and 2 children holding hands. To the right of the family, we see the official United Nations symbol for the International Year of the Family, 1994, a stylized heart formed by 2 adult figures sheltering a child, reinforcing the coin's theme of nurture and protection. It's simple, honest, and profoundly human, a reminder that family is the cornerstone of every society. The obverse, as with all Australian decimal coins of the era, features the timeless portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maclouf. This version of the Queen, wearing the royal diadem, remained standard from 1985 to 1998 and was admired for its detailed, elegant style. It contrasts nicely with the informal drawing on the reverse, symbolizing the balance between monarchy and everyday life, between institution and home. Together, the 2 sides of this coin form a powerful dual message, one of enduring tradition and the fundamental importance of family in all walks of life. In terms of specifications, the 1994 50-cent coin sticks to the trusted formula used since 1969. It has a weight of 15.55 grams, a diameter of 31.51 millimeters, and is struck in durable copper-nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel. It also features the signature dodecagonal, 12-sided shape, which makes the Australian 50-cent coin instantly recognizable not only by collectors, but by the everyday public. Its plain edge and sturdy metallic composition have allowed even heavily circulated pieces to survive with most of their design intact. Though, of course, condition always plays a major role in determining value. Now let's address the condition, dirty coins, or heavily circulated examples. While a coin in dirty condition may not appeal at first glance, collectors know that many such coins can be gently cleaned, when done professionally or with care, to reveal surprisingly preserved details. In this condition, the 1994 commemorative coin typically sells for $1 to $3 Australian, sometimes a bit more if all design elements are still clearly visible. However, even in this state, it has strong collector demand because it fills a specific spot in commemorative year sets. And for collectors who can't afford mint condition coins, circulated examples are a welcome addition. But the real value begins to show when you find this coin in extremely fine, uncirculated, or proof condition. Well-preserved examples of the 1994 50-cent coin are becoming increasingly rare, as many have been worn down through decades of circulation. In extra-fine condition, it can fetch $10 to $20 Australian, and in uncirculated condition, values climb to $25 to $60 AD coins from official mint sets or proof versions, especially those still in their original Royal Australian Mint packaging, are often valued at $80 to $150 Australian, depending on demand and availability. These prices have been steadily increasing as collectors begin to focus on late 20th century commemorative coins. Even more exciting is the possibility of mint errors, which are always a hot topic among serious collectors. While rare, there have been occasional reports of off-center strikes, die clashes, double rim errors, or clipped planchets on 1994 50-cent coins. These production flaws can dramatically increase a coin's value, with confirmed errors selling from $100 to $500 depending on the severity, uniqueness, and condition of the coin. The combination of a low-key design and an error makes these coins especially desirable and surprisingly lucrative at auction. What makes the 1994 50-cent coin even more compelling is its emotional significance. Unlike coins that celebrate war victories, monarchs, or institutions, this coin is about something deeply personal: family. It's about childhood drawings, togetherness, and shared values. That emotional resonance gives it a broad appeal beyond traditional collectors. Parents, teachers, and even social workers often seek out this coin to keep as a token, which increases its value not just in dollars, but in meaning. That kind of symbolic demand only adds to its long-term collectability. In today's collector market, the interest in Australian commemorative coins from the 1990s is stronger than ever. As more people look to complete year sets or focus on family-themed and human interest designs, the 1994 50-cent coin is steadily climbing the ranks of desirable pieces. It may not have the flash of a gold sovereign or the ancient allure of a pre-decimal penny, but what it has is something just as valuable: emotion, story, and rising scarcity. And in coin collecting, those three ingredients often lead to one result: profit. So, could the 1994 commemorative 50-cent coin make you a millionaire? Alone, maybe not. But if you happen to own multiple clean examples, or you find a rare mint error, or you invest in other key commemorative coins from the decade, your collection could easily grow into a 5- or 6-figure asset over time. This coin might be humble in appearance, even a little dirty, but it holds more value than meets the eye. Sometimes, it's the most human coins that bring the greatest rewards. Next up, the 2010 Australian 50-cent piece. A beautifully crafted, powerful symbol of national identity, crowned with the unmistakable image of the kangaroo and emu standing tall beside the coat of arms. When found in extra fine condition, this coin carries both emotional significance and growing monetary value. And for collectors, resellers, and investors alike, it may very well be the coin that turns pocket change into profit. Let's begin with the striking design on the reverse, one of the most recognizable and enduring images in Australian numismatics, the Australian coat of arms. This isn't just decoration. It's a powerful heraldic emblem that tells the story of an entire nation. The central shield displays the emblems of the 6 Australian states, united under a common banner. On either side stand the red kangaroo and the emu, two animals chosen not only for their native status, but also because they cannot walk backward, a fitting symbol of a country that never retreats, only progresses. Above the shield, the Commonwealth star, with its 7 points representing the 6 states and the territories, sits upon a wreath. Surrounding the base are delicate sprays of golden wattle, Australia's national floral emblem, anchoring the entire design in nature and national pride. Flip the coin, and on the obverse, you'll find the commanding presence of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. Introduced in 1999, this more mature and lifelike portrait became the new standard across Australian coinage. Her Majesty's profile is clean, balanced, and regal, a stark contrast to the vibrant symbolism of the reverse. The balance of these two sides, monarchy on one, federation on the other, represents Australia's dual identity, a modern, independent nation with strong historical ties. In 2010, this portrait was well into circulation, but each new coin still carried it with a crisp freshness, especially when preserved in extra fine condition. Now let's talk about the coin's physical specifications, details that matter deeply to both collectors and graders. The 2010 Australian 50-cent piece retains the classic dodecagonal, 12-sided shape introduced in 1969. It is made from copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper, 25% nickel, giving it a silver-like appearance with a durable, corrosion-resistant finish. The coin weighs 15.55 grams, measures 31.51 millimeters in diameter, and has a plain edge. These specifications have remained consistent across decades, giving the 50-cent coin its instantly recognizable form. And in a world moving rapidly toward digital money, the tactile quality of this heavy, sturdy coin is increasingly appreciated by collectors as a symbol of tangible value. When it comes to market value, condition is everything. In average circulated condition, a 2010 50-cent coin is still worth just face value, about 50 cents AUD. But once you cross into extra fine condition, the story changes dramatically. Coins that show minimal wear, retain sharp relief in both the Queen's portrait and the coat of arms, and maintain natural luster can easily fetch $5 to $12 on the collector's market. If you find one in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially graded by NGC or PCGS, prices can reach $20 to $50 or more, depending on the grade. And if it's still sealed in a mint set, it may command a premium from set collectors looking to complete their decade collections. Now here's where it gets even more interesting: the hunt for minting errors. Coins from 2010 are known to have produced a small number of anomalies, including die cracks, off-center strikes, cut errors, and rotated dies. These are rare, but they are out there. A verified 2010 50-cent error coin can multiply its value tenfold or more, with prices reaching $100 to $300 and sometimes beyond that, depending on rarity and demand. Coin collectors across Australia are now scouring their collections for these tiny imperfections, the kinds of details that turn an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime payday. What also boosts the coin's desirability is its role in modern Australian history. By 2010, the country was experiencing rapid cultural and technological shifts, yet the currency remained anchored in tradition. This coin, in many ways, represents the last generation of classic Australian coins before digital payments and card-based transactions began to dominate everyday life. As such, the 2010 issue has become increasingly symbolic, not just as money, but as a snapshot of Australian identity at a turning point. In recent years, the demand for high-grade Australian decimal coins has soared. Collectors are now realizing the importance of securing not just old pre-decimal rarities, but also modern coins in top condition, particularly those from the 2000s and early 2010s. The 2010 50-cent coin, thanks to its iconic design and solid production quality, is quickly gaining traction in this new wave of collecting. As mintages are locked and circulated examples wear down, surviving coins in excellent condition become rarer every year, and rarity is the one constant rule of value in numismatics. What makes this coin especially exciting is its accessibility. You don't need to spend thousands at an auction to get started. The 2010 50-cent coin can still be found in collections, piggy banks, and even loose change. But those who know what to look for, sharp edges, strong strike, clean fields, are already separating the gems from the junk. For newcomers and seasoned collectors alike, this coin represents the perfect mix of affordability and investment potential. And it's that potential that is fueling its rise on the market. So, can the 2010 Australian 50-cent coin make you a millionaire? On its own, probably not. But combine multiple pristine examples, a few rare mint errors, and a sharp eye for grading, and you could be holding a collection worth thousands, even tens of thousands, of dollars. This coin may not carry a royal anniversary or Olympic moment, but its timeless design, symbolic strength, and growing scarcity make it one of the hidden heroes of the modern Australian coin era. Don't wait until it's too late. Check your stash, explore your sets, and you might just find a coin that's worth far more than its face value. Next up, the 1980 Australian 50-cent piece. Though often overlooked due to its common appearance and widespread circulation, this coin is gaining renewed attention among collectors, especially those who recognize its historical value, design strength, and surprising profit potential. Found in circulated condition, the 1980 50-cent coin may not look like much at first glance, but dig a little deeper and you'll discover a piece of Australia's numismatic heritage that is rapidly growing in value and could be the stepping stone to a small fortune. Let's begin with its iconic design, which remains one of the most admired in Australia's decimal currency history. The reverse features the majestic Commonwealth coat of arms, a heraldic masterpiece that embodies the spirit and identity of the nation. At the center is a shield divided into 6 segments, each representing one of Australia's 6 states. Proudly supporting the shield are the red kangaroo and the emu, 2 uniquely Australian animals chosen not just for their native symbolism, but because neither can walk backward, a powerful metaphor for a forward-moving nation. Above them rests the Commonwealth Star, with 7 points representing the 6 states and the territories. The design is framed by sprays of golden wattle, Australia's national flower, completing the powerful imagery of strength, unity, and progress. On the obverse side, the coin features the classic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Mackin. This effigy was widely used on Australian coinage throughout the 1970s and early 1980s, presenting the Queen in regal profile, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The style is clean, dignified, and instantly recognizable, a symbol of continuity and tradition during a transformative period in Australian history. For many collectors, the Mackin portrait represents a nostalgic connection to a different era, one that is fast disappearing from everyday circulation. From a technical standpoint, the 1980 50-cent coin follows the standard introduced in 1969. It is struck in a durable copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper, 25% nickel, making it corrosion-resistant and built to withstand heavy circulation. The coin weighs 15.55 grams, measures 31.51 millimeters in diameter, and boasts the distinctive 12-sided, dodecagonal shape that makes Australian 50-cent pieces instantly identifiable. Its edge is plain, but the solid geometric form and tactile weight give it a lasting, satisfying feel in the hand, one that signals quality and substance. Now let's talk dollar value. In circulated condition, most 1980 50-cent coins are still accessible and often traded at prices just above face value, typically $1 to $3 depending on wear and visibility of details. However, coins in better circulated condition, where the Queen's portrait and coat of arms remain sharp and defined, often sell for $4 to $7, especially when sold to collectors seeking to complete date sets. This price jump may seem small, but for a coin that's over 40 years old and was once ignored, it's a sign of its growing importance in the Australian coin landscape. But the real game-changer lies in error coins. Like many decimal issues from this era, the 1980 50-cent coin has produced its share of rare minting errors, including off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and double obverse impressions. These flaws, though accidental, are highly sought after in the collector community. Depending on the type and severity of the error, a 1980 50-cent coin with a visible mint flaw can be worth anywhere from $50 to $500 or more if professionally graded. For collectors and investors, error coins represent one of the most exciting aspects of modern numismatics, a small mistake that leads to massive value. The collector demand for Australian decimal coins from the 1980s is stronger than ever. Many enthusiasts are now looking to build full runs of 50-cent coins from each year, and coins like the 1980 issue, especially in high condition or with errors, are increasingly harder to come by. Decades of circulation have taken their toll, and few examples survive with the crisp detail and luster that serious collectors demand. As more collectors compete for fewer high-quality coins, prices will continue to climb, and those who act now will be the ones to benefit most. Beyond value, there's a story behind the 1980 50-cent coin, one that resonates with Australians across generations. This was the coin of everyday life, used in supermarkets, petrol stations, cinemas, and lunch counters. It was passed from hand to hand during a period of major economic and cultural change. Holding one today is like holding a piece of personal history, and for many collectors, that emotional connection adds value that goes far beyond money. Investors, too, are starting to realize the potential of coins like this. While gold and silver may grab headlines, modern coins with historical significance and collector demand are becoming smart, tangible assets. The 1980 50-cent coin, especially when included in a curated collection, has strong potential to appreciate over time, particularly as younger generations take an interest in preserving their national heritage through numismatics. And let's not forget, the value of a single coin is one thing, but the value of a full set, or of rare variants, could be life-changing. So, can the 1980 Australian 50-cent coin make you a millionaire? Not on its own, perhaps, but as part of a strategic, well-researched coin collection, it absolutely could help build a portfolio worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands. It's about seeing the value in what others dismiss. It's about recognizing opportunity where others see spare change. If you've got one of these coins tucked away, or you're just now discovering their potential, you could be holding a tiny piece of history and a future gold mine. Next up, the 1978 Australian 50-cent coin. Often overlooked due to its age and widespread circulation, this coin is now gaining a second life among collectors and investors alike. Though commonly found in circulated condition, its historical roots, classic design, and the rising interest in late 20th century decimal coins make it a highly underrated gem. With the right knowledge and attention, This unassuming coin could be part of a collection that takes you all the way to the top, perhaps even to millionaire status. Let's begin with what sets the coin apart: its design. The reverse features the unmistakable Australian coat of arms, one of the most detailed and powerful national symbols ever placed on a coin. At the center is a large shield, divided into 6 sections, each one representing one of Australia's 6 states. Flanking the shield are 2 proud guardians, the red kangaroo and the emu, both chosen for their unique inability to move backward, symbolizing Australia's ever-forward momentum. Above the shield sits the Commonwealth star, its 7 points symbolizing unity among states and territories. Beneath the design are sprays of golden wattle, the national floral emblem, which further tie the design to Australia's natural heritage. It's not just art, it's identity struck in metal. On the obverse, the coin bears the classic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Arnold Machin. This effigy, with the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, was used from 1966 through the mid-1980s, and it exudes elegance, tradition, and continuity. For many Australians, this image brings back memories of decades gone by. And for collectors, it anchors the coin in a historical period that is becoming increasingly prized. The Queen's portrait, balanced with the striking reverse design, makes the 1978 50-cent coin a perfect example of how Australia's monarchy and national identity are reflected in its currency. In terms of technical specifications, the 1978 Australian 50-cent coin follows the standard introduced in 1969. It is minted in copper-nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, giving it a distinct silvery tone and excellent resistance to corrosion. The coin weighs 15.55 grams, has a diameter of 31.51 millimeters, and features the iconic 12-sided, dodecagonal, shape that distinguishes it from most coins globally. This polygonal shape, combined with the flat plain edge and heavy weight, gives the coin a unique feel in the hand, solid, historical, and unmistakably Australian. When it comes to value in circulated condition, the 1978 50-cent coin is relatively affordable, but prices are rising steadily. In average circulated quality, this coin typically fetches between $1 to $3 Australian, depending on wear and detail clarity. But if you find one in better circulated condition, where the shield's details and Queen's features are still sharp, you could be looking at $4 to $6 Australian in today's collector market. While these numbers may seem modest, it's the long-term trend and market movement that make this coin a smart pickup now, before prices climb further. Where the real potential lies, however, is in high-grade examples and rare minting errors. A 1978 coin in extra fine or uncirculated condition, with full detail and original luster, can easily sell for $10 to $30 Australian, especially when certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Coins taken from mint rolls or long-preserved sets can command even higher prices. Now add in a rare error coin, such as a clipped planchet, die crack, or off-center strike, and you've got a piece that can be worth anywhere from $100 to $500 Australian or more, depending on the rarity and market interest. Some 1978 error coins have sold at auction for even higher figures. The mintage of the 1978 50-cent coin was significant, with over 25 million pieces produced. But 4 decades of circulation means that pristine examples are becoming increasingly rare. Most coins from this period have seen extensive use, passed from hand to hand in shops, petrol stations, and family homes. As more collectors seek out high-quality examples, especially for complete year sets, the supply of better-grade coins is rapidly shrinking. This is where the true value begins to build, not in the common, worn coins, but in those few that survived in excellent condition. Another reason this coin is gaining in popularity is because of its emotional and cultural significance. The late 1970s was a pivotal era for Australia, a time of cultural shifts, economic challenges, and national growth. Holding a coin from 1978 is like holding a time capsule of Australian life, a tangible link to the past. This nostalgic value adds an emotional dimension to the coin that collectors cherish, and that emotional value often translates into higher collector demand and rising resale prices. In the broader scope of coin collecting, Many investors are now realizing that building sets of Australian decimal coins, especially from the 1970s and 1980s, is a smart move. These coins are still affordable, but their values are growing. The 1978 50-cent piece, with its timeless design and historical charm, is becoming a key piece in these collections. Whether you're a hobbyist just starting out or a seasoned investor building a portfolio, adding this coin to your collection is not just about today's price. It's about future potential. So, could the 1978 50-cent coin make you a millionaire? On its own, maybe not. But imagine owning multiple pristine coins, rare errors, or even a complete high-grade collection of 1970s 50-cent pieces. That's when the value multiplies. That's when everyday change becomes an appreciating asset. Coins like this aren't just metal, they're stories, investments, and legacy. And in the hands of the right collector, even a coin in circulated condition could be the beginning of something extraordinary.